Let's talk about what types of videos you would use if you do browse videos versus search videos. And we just looked at a whole bunch. I just went through in the previous video, if you didn't watch that in this playlist, there is a video that I went through a few different channels. I went through my cake channel showing what my process is and what I thought other people, were doing with their videos and what purpose each video is serving. So as we know, the browse feature on YouTube is basically the homepage where they show you videos. It's anytime you see a thumbnail and YouTube is like, watch this. That's browsing. You're not searching for anything. You're just browsing on YouTube. They're showing you something and you're clicking on it. Okay. The search is when you physically type something into the search bar because you're looking for a specific answer or a topic or a question or whatever. But there's different types of videos that go with each type. So the first one for browse, I have a little list over here. For browse, tutorials, work with me kind of videos like we saw on Cindy's channel in the previous video. Those are very common if you have an audience already on YouTube or if that topic has an audience, because you can do a browse video with an interesting thumbnail that will show up in browse and YouTube showing it to people. They're interested in that topic. They'll click on it and then they watch you work. You can sell a product that goes along with that. Okay. And like, let's go back to the scrapbooking for an example, because we were talking about that in the last video. If you're going to do a project and you have let's say you sell digital paper for that project, or like with Bill with the ornaments, Bill sells those kits. So he could do a video where he's actually making the kit. You don't have to show every step. This is the thing. I don't think that people understand when you do a tutorial, you don't have to show every step. You just have to show the big ones, right? The details that make it your work, that are your trade secrets, don't show those. You don't have to show those. Cake decorators are very good at this. And if you watch some cake decorating videos, you'll see that they get to a certain point and then suddenly the cake is done. They skip all of the last final steps that they're doing. They don't show you the whole process, but it feels like they have. And that's what you need to aim for. You want to make people feel like they've watched the whole process, but not entirely the whole process. Okay. And that's the tutorial. Those are the tutorials. If you're selling the product, you can say, I'm going to use this product that I sell to do this project. If you want to buy it, pause the video, use the link in the description. You can download it right away and print them out and then come back and work with me. Okay. YouTube theoretically does not like it when you send people off of YouTube and they don't come back. So always tell them to come back and finish later. Like once they get the materials and they're ready to do the project, that's when they come back. Okay. So you can do tutorials, kind of work with me videos, sell a product that way. And it doesn't have to be, they can work along with you, but you can just show them everything and then say, and you can get it here. If you want to do this yourself, here's the link that you can go shop. It's in the description, whatever. These kinds of tutorials should be conversational. Like you're actually talking to the person, you're telling them, you're being friendly, just normally. You want to develop a relationship and kind of build a community and an audience who trusts you, the know, like, trust, right? And if you're doing tutorials like that, you can do a lot of them and people will keep coming back. You can reference other people's work in your work. You can try a tutorial that someone else has done and always give them credit. And YouTube is a little weird with the giving credit because many people, and we're talking about building a community, many people, depending on your topic, will refer to other videos and say, here's my take on this. Here's how I'm going to do this. I might change this a little bit. But referring to that other person's video is fine because people watch more than one video. All right. Now, I have had people on my YouTube channels, depending on what topic it is, not in cakes so much. We'll just put it that way. But in the e-commerce stuff, there's still dirty people, who just want to steal your work. But don't worry about that so much because people watch more than one video on YouTube and they like to see how things are done by different people so that they can figure out how to do it themselves. All right. So that's the first type of video for browse is tutorials. That can be really popular. And when people see that in their feed, if that's what they're interested in, then they will go to your video from the thumbnail. Another thing that you can do that's interesting for browse is process videos. And I've heard of people who are doing pottery and they will make something on camera And then they will say, and now we're going to go fire it. And when it's done, I'm going to link it in the description of this video and you can go buy it. So that's how you sell that kind of thing. It's an interesting concept. People really enjoy watching things be made. There's an entire TV show. There are multiple TV shows about how factories work and how things are made. I think there's a show called How It's Made, right? And it's interesting to see how things are made if you have never made that before. And people will watch it even if they're not the people who would be making it. So this isn't a situation where someone's going to come and try to steal your work. They are just interested in how it's made. And because they've actually watched you make that thing, someone is going to go buy it. I promise you. If you post something, if you make it on camera, post that video, post the link to the listing, someone is going to go buy it. It's very common. And this is also the kind of thing that you could do if you're a vintage seller and you can talk about the products. And that's a browse thing too, because people who are interested in vintage are going to be shown those videos, the thumbnails. They're going to come watch it. They're going to get interested in it. If you show something in a video and talk about it, it's much better than a still photo. And you can just link to your listings. You can go straight over there. You can use share and save links if you're using Etsy. You can use affiliate links on YouTube as long as you disclose right next to it, this is an affiliate link. So depending on where you're selling, that might apply. But process videos are very popular, and that's something that people would not necessarily search for, but they might see the thumbnail in browse and be interested and then go to your channel, and then you can sell them. The other thing you can do for browse, and this might kind of overlap on search a little bit, is opinions and news about your industry. I have come across a lot, and YouTube suggests things for me that I'm like, I don't know why they're suggesting that, but then I realize that I just watched something about that topic 2 weeks ago or something like that. They suggest some weird stuff to me, but there's a lot of drama in a lot of these niches that I'm not aware of. And I saw something recently where someone they were suggesting something to me where somebody was complaining about a convention they went to and things weren't done correctly. And that's the kind of thing that if someone is in that category on YouTube and they're interested in those types of videos, they'll watch it. I watched it because I'm like, what is this? I didn't know there's so much drama, But anyway, it's opinions and news and that kind of thing is something that YouTube will show to people. And if you have an opinion about something that's happening and other people are interested in it, they'll watch. So that's a good thing to use for browse. All right, now, as far as search goes, you want to think about questions, topics, and simple answers that people would get that they might type into a search bar to find the answer for. So this also goes along with tutorials, but it's not necessarily like, let's make this together. I'm going to make this project. You can go buy the product. You can go buy the materials and then come back. This is more like, this is how to do one thing. So search, when people search for something, it's usually like how to do this, how to do that. And I will say that the videos on YouTube show up really well in search results in the big search engines if it has the phrase how to do, how to make, that kind of thing in the front of the search query. So for example, if you go on Google and search for purple edible butterflies, my videos will come up in the video section from my YouTube channel. If you search for how to make purple edible butterflies, I don't know that they come up because I don't think I have that's a very specific video. But if you search for how to make edible butterflies, they might come up, but I don't really have that because I make them. I'm not going to teach other people how to make them because there's really not that much to do other than photoshopping and cutting them out. But I will talk about edible ink printers because I know that people have a lot of questions about that. And honestly, if you've ever had one of these things, they are from the devil. They are terrible. They're very difficult to maintain and to use. They're very temperamental. I shouldn't say that in front of them, but yeah, you have to be nice to them. You're doing a good job. But if people know that about them, then they won't buy one and they'll just buy stuff from me. Okay, honestly, the 9 times out of 10, that's why I'm doing those videos. It's like I'm showing people how to clean the cartridge, but in the process, I'm showing them what a pain it is to have to do that. So I've had a lot of people say, I watched your videos, I'm not going to buy one now. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of the point. But if I can help someone with it, that's fine. But at the same time, that's a search query that I know people will search for. They'll come to my video and they'll see the truth. Okay. So I have people who are my customers because they used to have a printer and they got rid of it and now they buy it from me. That's just how that works. But you can do tutorials through search. So like thinking of the edible ink printers, how to clean an edible ink printer cartridge. That's a tutorial that's showing how to do it. I have a lot of videos about how to make edible wafer paper flowers. I sell the blank wafer paper, so I have links to that in the description. I also have links to the flowers that I make in the description because I know that after someone watches that video, they're going to be like, oh my God, I'm not going to do that. That takes too long. And then they'll buy them from me. Okay, so tutorials are good for many purposes. It can be fun, but if you're searching, if there's a search query behind it that people would type in, you can aim tutorials at search. I would keep those short. I would keep those not necessarily like a super, super long video. It's not the kind of same thing as a browse video where someone's going to be interested and they're going to watch the whole thing. But you can do a lot of short videos that answer a specific question. And if you look at the videos on this channel, that's how I started this channel off. They were short videos and I try to keep them short. This is not short. This is a playlist. This is something different. But I try to keep those videos short. They answer a single question. I don't get into a lot of, hey, subscribe to my channel. Hey, let me talk for 2 minutes before I answer the question. I just get in there and answer it. If it takes 2 minutes, that's the video. And if it gives the right answer, then that's it. I don't need to make it longer than it has to be. And people do ask, how long should my videos be? The answer is as long as they need to be. Okay, you don't want to make them super long. If they're super, super, super short, then you just want to make sure you're answering the question. Don't make them too short, but they need to be as long as they need to be. Okay, so answer questions for customers. And I told you in the previous video, like how I send customers to my cake channel because it answers questions and I have the video, they can watch that. They don't need to have me type everything out 10 times. I also do for search, I do product demos and product reviews. And I showed you in the previous video also that when people search for something, that those videos come up on Google. I don't think I showed you that, but they do come up in Google. Actually, now I was going to say, let me go find that, but I'm not on Zoom right now. So if you go and search for specific food colorings, my videos do tend to come up in those because there aren't that many videos about a demo video of a food coloring. There just aren't. So those come up, they come to my channel. Now they know my business. Okay, now they know the name of my business, which they didn't before. So that's the whole purpose of that. With search, it's basically to introduce people to your business and get them to your channel by adding helpful content that is not too long. It just answers their question, but it's not the same as browse. So, do you see the difference? I hope you see the difference. And yeah, you can do, there's a lot of overlap between all these. I'm not saying you can't do a product demo with a browse algorithm. You're going to be found either way because YouTube does show the videos that I have designed specifically for search in the browse algorithm, but that's not my primary focus when I'm doing a video. Okay, so I hope that that kind of explains the things that you can do. And honestly, you can do any topic that you want on YouTube. I'm not saying that exclusively these are the things, but if you think about it, when I do a video, I think, is this for browse or for search? Because if it's for search, I'm going to make sure the right keywords are in there. If it's for browse, I'm going to make sure it has a good thumbnail. And that's basically the difference. So leave me any questions. Give this video a thumbs up. I will talk to you later.